squatties all over wherever you are. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, Chickens, Mama Mia. All of us here at Sussex Squad. Hello, hello, hello. First, I have to do a little bit of a mic check because I don't know what is wrong with my mic. It's not working very well. It's been a little finicky lately. So if you could give me a thumbs up to let me know if you can hear me well, that would be really, really helpful. I hope it's working. So if you give me a bit of a thumbs up, that would be great. And let me know if you're hearing me. At least I'm hoping you're hearing me. Anyone, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Or I'm going to just assume that this is not working. But hopefully someone okay, Karen M can hear me. Thank you, Karen M, our awesome moderator. Thank you for the thumbs up. And so at least I know that is working. So at least with Karen M. So if anyone else having any kind of issues hearing me, it would be really helpful. I'm looking in the chat right now. Oh, thank you, Emma. Emma says she is hearing me perfectly fine. So great, thank you. My mic is working a little bit. Yes, Bonnie says yes. Thank you, Bonnie. But hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope everyone has been in a great mood. I mean, there's a lots that are happening with our faves, wonderful things. If Church Nelly is around somewhere, Church Nelly's having a grand old time because, as long as there's Nacho, Church Nelly is fine. All is well with the world. But anyways, our faves are fine. It's so funny. You hear all these rumors like sources close. Obviously, the source is close to the Sussexes and all of that stuff. And one of the rumors that's been going around is like, oh, Meghan was at Taylor Swift's concert. And then another, I think it was last week or something, or just before her birthday or something, some craziness like that. There was I guess someone was reporting it in the news that that Meghan went to see Barbie with her girlfriends. And I was like, if only we lived in a time where, there was such a thing called cell phones. And if we only lived in that time of cell phones, and those cell phones maybe possibly, just on the odd chance that those cell phones have cameras on it, we could have had some pictures, that giving us evidence that Meghan was actually at these places, because I'm assuming if there's a Taylor Swift concert, I wish we lived at a time that there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people at this said concert with supposedly a phone that, probably may, have a camera that would have taken a picture that would say, here, if only we lived in such a time. It's just so funny. I'm like, yeah, sure, unless I get a picture, it didn't happen. So any kind of rumors with Meghan is like, picture or it did not happen. So there you go. That's as far as I get with that nonsense. I was just like, a Taylor Swift concert, there's like thousands of people, at least that's what I think. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so I don't really pay much attention to Taylor Swift. But, you would think somebody there would have a camera, again, if only we lived at a time where people have phones and those phones have cameras, or, apparently everybody, no one else but the tabloids knew that Meghan was at a Barbie, screening, and nobody else there had a phone or a phone with a camera with evidence. Of course not. It's only a secret source of a tabloid that can tell us this. So anyways, yeah, like the nonsense of it all. But we're gonna move into the real world where real things are happening. For example, like our faves here. I think this has to be my favorite Harry and Nacho shot ever. Like, I love it. I mean, can these two be more twins than they could be more twinning if they tried. I was like, did they buy the same glasses just in different colors? they're wearing the polo shirt and the faded jeans and everything. And it's like twinning. And I just absolutely love it, love it, love it. And I know, like, uh, Bonnie's like, why is my thumbs up still there? Thank you, Bonnie, for letting me know. Emma Day, yes, I think I said Emma Day before. Emma Day also let me know that she could hear me. So if anybody else has problems, let me know, because I'm having microphone issues at the moment. But I just think this is like my absolute favorite picture of Nacho and Harry. It's just like, we are dudes, and as Nacho said, shopping for our wives. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. But before we even get on with Nacho and Harry and all taking Tokyo, let me just say hello to all my friends in the chat for a minute. Hello, Fancy. Fancy is here. And Verda is here. And our awesome moderator, Lydia, is here. Hello, Lydia. How are you? Oh, and Lydia is reminding us to please like the video. Welcome to the chat, by the way. First of all, Lydia's it's like, welcome to the chat. Please like and share and subscribe. Yes, please, please, please. And if there's that little bell right next to the subscription button right there, just click that. It'll let you know when we drop videos. And if you're able, join our channel. That would be awesome too. Thank you so much, Lydia. And also more information from Lydia. If you are interested in supporting the Sussex fundraiser, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think we're up to like 26,000 now. The last time I checked earlier today, I think it was like 26,000. Who knows, with the squad that probably went up. But that's where the fundraiser right now is for Sentebale. And of course, we know Harry and Nacho are in Tokyo. Well, were in Tokyo until earlier today. And they are going to be in Singapore playing polo to support Sentebale. And so we are supporting Sentebale. And one of the things, somebody was explaining why, because we fundraised for Sentebale before, and why Sentebale again. And I think, was it Joe Diva? On Twitter, Joe Diva Runner. I think she's one of the squaddies who are a part of Sussex community, that they are the ones that really do such an incredible job of putting together these fundraisers and just minding it straight through the end. Very, very, very successful at fundraising, and they have done an incredible job with this. So kudos to her and all the other squaddies who are a part of Sussex Squad community that do the fundraisers. But she was I think it was her or someone else. I could be wrong, maybe. But one of the squaddies who I think are a part of the Sussex community was explaining why Sentebale again, and they were explaining, because coming out of COVID, the devastation and the devastating hit that they took because of COVID. And so I would have to find that tweet again and maybe put it in our community page again, just in case have any questions as to why Sentebale or why Sentebale again. But as we know, most of the African continent, it was honestly, it wasn't hit as hard as many were predicting. I mean, continent was but still quite a lot of people died, and also too, suffering the effects of the pandemic. And along with that, they were, the lack of resources, COVID vaccine resources, and really also the lack of COVID vaccines, because the quote unquote first world countries were not, they were not sharing the vaccines. And hence we know why Harry and Meghan were advocating for them to share the vaccines, or at least share the recipe, so that these countries can make their own vaccines, which they had not done. So they suffered a lot. And so that's why they decided to do another fundraiser to help Sentebale. And it really is the young people of Lesotho and Botswana who are a part of Sentebale. So that is why. And I'll try to find the tweet. And I think it's Jody, but I would check and see, make sure and find it. She gave us such a better explanation than I could. Oh, Karen M says the fundraiser is $26,436. Last figures for the fundraiser. Yes, it is. So thank you, our awesome moderator, Karen M. Who else is here hanging with us? Verda's here. Hello, Verda. And Dansbird is here. And who else is here? Sonia Johnson is here. Hello there, Sonia. Mara's here. Andrea's here. Louise. Norma. Hello, guys. Yulibi is here. Hello, Yulibi. Annie is here. Andy Balla just saying hello to everybody. Kaditha. Hello, Kaditha. And Antoinette. And who else is here? Oh, Janet Lavalli is here. Hello, Janet. Joyce is here. Joyce, have you forgiven me for making fun of you last time? I hope you weren't mad at me. I was just pulling Joyce's legs last time for her lack of views of Harry and Meghan docu-series. Mara is here. Hello, Mara and Hope's Garden. Louise. And let's see who else. Oh, this thing just jumps. Veronica's here. Hello, Veronica. Brenda Lee, Ruth C. Hello, guys. Dolores and Teslin. And everybody else that I missed. Thank you, Church Nelly, who is a member for 11 months. Thank you, Church Nelly, for all of your support. Thank you for being a part of the 2 Cents crew. And she's like, hello, pedal, folding chair ready. You know what's funny about that? I recently bought a folding chair. I've actually been meaning to buy one because the one I was using at my desk is so funny because I had this beach chair that I was using and I just put a pillow on it and used my beach chair, but the beach chair broke. And so I kept meaning to buy a chair. And so, a week and a half ago, I bought a folding chair and it's, nice and cushy and everything. And I was like, see, this is the reason. I didn't know it at the time, but now I know why I have a folding chair. So I'm right there with you, Church Nelly. I am right there with you with the church, with the folding chair. Comfort Cali Gal is here. Hello, Comfort Cali Gal. Oh my gosh, these folding chairs, I'm telling you. They are now so incredibly famous. So anyways, back to our fave. And I know, obviously, Church Nelly, Church Nelly's favorite person in the whole wide world, Nacho and Prince Harry. And, and I just love this. Again, this is like totally my favorite photo of the both of them. It's like we dudes in Tokyo. And Nacho posted this on his Instagram yesterday. Shopping for our wives. A big thank you to Tokyo for your generous hospitality and kindness towards us, and of course for your continued support for Sente Bale. And again, it's really, really great to see. Just all the work and all the people who support Sente Bale. And of course, that's Nacho and Harry up there with their other brother, Prince Cecil of Lesotho. And so I'm telling you, Harry hit the jackpot with a brother, man. At least not one, but two. Prince Cecil and Nacho. It's just like, I love their relationship. I absolutely love it. And so it's really great to see the bros out there, in Tokyo yesterday. Now, they're probably already there in Singapore. Lord willing, get them there safely. Ready for their polo match in 2 days, on the 12th. So, and I'm assuming they're probably doing other things in regards to fundraising for Sente Bale there before the polo game. And I just love these photos. I'm sure you guys all saw these photos yesterday. We were all over the place. It was so funny because Tokyo is so far ahead of us that I think, was it Baron? I think I was watching Baron yesterday or something, and then at the end, Baron was looking for photos, which was because in Japan it was the next day already, and it was just so funny because we're like, where are the photos? I know they're in Tokyo. We need photos. And I love it. And I was like, look at our Harry. Look at him, how happy he is, and he and Nacho, and shoot, I don't remember. I never remember that guy in the middle. I think he's from South Africa, actually. Is it South Africa or Australia? One of those places. I think it's South Africa. That is also. I think he is with IPS Honda. And I remember, I think it's the same person that was with them in Colorado as well, when they did the polo match there last year. And so I think he is with ISPS Honda. So, they are all doing their seminar yesterday. So I absolutely love it. I mean, look at Harry, moisturized, smiling, happy. It just, you go, Harry. You just do you. And so Ahmed wrote up a little bit about it yesterday. It says, in Tokyo today, which was yesterday, just in case you hadn't heard about it, and I know a lot of people have, because if you've watched Baron on Duchess of Success, I am 100% sure this was covered. In Tokyo today, Prince Harry attended the ISBS Sports Value Summit, which explored the power of sports as a vehicle to drive positive change in communities. In his role as Sintibali co-founder, Harry said, the lessons we learned on the field are the same principles as philanthropy. That a mission, hard work, dedication, and partnership can make even the impossible possible. Whether branded together in victory or showing up with respect in loss, no one ever crosses the finish line or score a goal without the help and the belief of others. And that, to me, is the power of sport. Friend and polo champ Nacho Figueres, a Sintibali ambassador, added, it's wonderful to be here in Japan on behalf of Sintibali, taking the opportunity to talk about the power of polo, a sport I love, and how it serves as a platform to raise awareness for our work. Next stop, Singapore, where we will be raising funds for Sintibali's important work in Southern Africa, whilst enjoying a great afternoon of polo. On August 12th, obviously, Harry and Nacho will play the 2023 Sintibali ISBS Honda Polo Cup in Singapore to raise money that will help children and young people affected by poverty, inequality, and HIV/AIDS in Lesotho and Botswana. So, really cool write up, and I'm telling you, when it comes to the power of sport and mental health, I'm telling you, Harry is he's able to speak about this in a way that, and I think that's what, one of the things that, among many things, that separates him from the rest of the royals, is that he has, this is not just something he talks about. This is who he is. This is part of his DNA, everything. And he can speak with it with such intelligence and with such heart and such passion, and convey that, where, I always talk about his passion and his vision for, say, Invictus, where he gave his vision to the different, the different countries, the vets from different countries, and they have taken it and they have made it their own. And he has the ability to do that in especially in these areas where the healing power of sports and mental health, which really is, definitely healing power of sports, also part of mental health. So it's all sort of tied in there, but he doesn't just speak about mental health. He embodies it. He lives it. It's who he is. And that's why I think it connects so much with people when he speaks about it. So I just love this. I love, and for me, it's just, just the respect and the love that he has for the Japanese people. And I don't know, I think I may have mentioned this before. Like, I didn't realize that they had this love for Princess Diana. I didn't know that until now, that they had this just passion for Princess Diana. Of course, that's transferred to Harry, and they just love him, and he loves them, and it's just it's just so wonderful to see. I was like, and with the respect, with his hands clasped, and showing respect to the people of Japan. And it's just, he even said, if you would have me, I could even see myself moving here or something like that, you know. Of course, one could always say, Japan, you kind of treated your own royal princess kind of awfully that she ran off to New York. So you never know. Grass always greener on the other side, I guess. you know, but yeah, they had a great time in Japan, obviously. Then went shopping for the wifeys, the P wives, and so I wonder what they bought. But chances are they bought themselves those glasses. It's like look-alike glasses. So I just absolutely, I really just, I mean, Harry is just one of a kind. And I'm just telling you, can I just talk about this audience? I don't know how large the room is, but it looks like full. Someone said it's like 3,000 people were in the room. It looks, at least from this angle, don't know, again, how large the room is. But can I just say, I wish I was this irrelevant. There's Harry and all the big screens up there, and leave it to those on the other side of the pond who are like, Harry is irrelevant, Meghan is irrelevant, and I was like, can the Lord just make me this irrelevant? I mean, this is irrelevant goals right here, like just let me irrelevant and just let me be able to speak the three, sitting in front of how, someone says 3,000. I don't know, there's not an official number that came out. But it just like I mean, I love it. Konnichiwa, Joseph Bruno. How are you? I love the little Japanese name. Konnichiwa. Thank you, Joseph. I love it. But I'm just like, you go, Harry. You go. Harry and Meghan are failures. Well, this is the type of failure I aspire to. So may the Lord grant this kind of failure to me. And I know all of us are like, ooh, can I fail like this, please? Please? I love it. I absolutely love it. And of course, I don't know why my picture on the right came out the way it is. I'm sorry. It was meant to come out in a proper way, but I'm using a new software to do these little receipt things that I pull up here, and I'm still learning how not to do how not to do these screen clippings. So this is the how not to do a screen clipping on right, and don't stretch it. It's stretched way too much. So there you go. I am learning. I started using it like 2 weeks ago, and so yeah, learning. So Nacho posted about it, their time on the stage. And actually, it's so funny. Lady on the right, she is the new. Well, I think she was before, and then they had someone else come and take it over. But her name is Sophie, and I don't know how to say the last name. Is Chanduka. Sophie Chanduka, and she was just recently appointed chairwoman of the board, or chairperson of the board at Santibale. I think she was before, and then they had Harry's friend who did it for like 10 years or something like that, and then he is left, and now she is back in that role. So that's her second. I think that's her second over there. But it's really it's so great again. So again, she is the chair at Santibale. So we have the Santibale team represented there. Well, obviously Harry and Nacho. And so it's Nacho posted about it. So the Duke said the lesson we learn in the field, which is pretty much what we read before. The lesson we learn in the field are the same principles of philanthropy, that mission, hard work, dedication, partnership can make even the impossible possible. I love that. I love that part. Whether banded together in victory or showing our respect and loss, no one has ever crossed the finish line or scored a goal without the help and the belief of others. That to me is the power of sport. Yes, it is. And it goes on to say guests were treated to a rousing and uplifting performance by the top amateur choir in the world, the Stellenbosch University, at Stellenbosch University. That's the name of the school choir from South Africa. Words from our chair, which is the chair of Sentibali, Dr. Sophie Shanduka, MBE, and Invictus Games gold medalist Steve James. And I think that Steve James actually is the one that had really he credited Harry with and Invictus with saving his life. And so again, the power, absolute power of sport that Harry talked about. I mean, we heard that, when he talked about it at the closing ceremony at The Hague, when he talked about they had done a survey of different athletes there, and and so many of them said, if it wasn't for the games, they would not be here today. They would literally not be alive. And so just the how important sport is in really saving people's lives. So I love that. So I love, I'm sorry about my very stretched picture there. I'm learning this platform. And of course, Sentibali tweeted about it, and they said Sentibali on the 9th of August, the Duke of Sussex. I'm thinking about Meghan attended the ISPS Sports Value Summit, special edition at Tokyo Big Sight in Japan for Sentibali. The summit explored the power of sport as a vehicle to drive positive change in communities. And the Duke spoke with former All Blacks ISPA Honda, Dan Carter. That's who it was. That's the one on the left next to Dr. Sophie over there. And I always never remember his name. So yes, I knew he was with ISPS Honda. Dan Carter, that's his name. Sentibali ambassador, obviously, Nacho, and rector, vice chancellor for the South Africa Stellenbosch University professors, Wim de Villiers. So that's them on the stage right there. So I have to remember Dan Carter because I never ever remember. And he's always with Harry and Nacho when they do these things, and as a rep for ISPS Honda, who really supports Sentibali, and they've been doing it for years. And so great work on them. So yeah. And of course, I'm sure we've all seen this. Oh my goodness, this has gone viral. This video of this has gone viral. It is just, I mean, Harry, this is why we love Prince Harry. It's just so. And of course, Stellenbosch University is lapping it up. The moment Prince Harry meets the Stella and oh, Null Thunder, if you're here, please correct me if I'm not saying Stellenbosch correctly, because I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. But the moment Prince Harry meets the Stellenbosch University choir and confesses to be a big fan, it's group hug at the end the group hug at the end for us, and that's Harry doing a selfie with all of them. And I love this group. It's very multicultural, racial, and everything. I have the video actually. Here's the video for them.
We do. Yeah. So keep spreading the love.
Thank you that you spent so much time.
I hope you're hearing it.
For such an icon, so modest. Oh my word.
Oh, well, you all fabulous.
I'll put that on my resume.
Did we have one group hug? One, two, three, South Africa. 1, 2, 3. South Africa!
And I just love that. I mean, like, that thing is like totally gone viral, of course. Prince Harry and the hugs. I just, and again, this is what makes separates Prince Harry from the rest of the royals. The rest of the royals they're just not, I mean, this is Princess Diana right there. This is her, and you can't teach this kind of thing. It's just who he is. It's just a part of who he is. It is the very fiber of his makeup. He is just love. And I mean, look at the faces of the people around him. I mean, you can't force people, you can't teach people how to make people smile. You just can't teach this kind of thing. And I saw that and I was like, I think I probably watched this way too many times. I think I watched this way too many times. It just, how could you just love this? and the faces of the, the young people, the college students, um it's just so much joy. And I think Harry just has a special place in his heart for South Africa. I mean, we saw him in Japan last year. No, it was 4 years ago. I think when it was the World Cup and South Africa won. Actually, they beat England, and they won. And we remember Harry in the locker room with the South African team, and it was the same thing. It's just like he feels so at home with them, and it's like, this is who you are, Harry. This is who you are. You're with your people. And it's just, at the end, it's like, South Africa. I was like, yeah, you are honorary. I think Harry's like the honorary South African. I love it. I mean, and this is why people love this man. No matter what the craziness of the royals and their crazy press do, you can't, I mean, you see something like that, and the only thing you're like, oh, that's the only thing you could do. No matter, you just, I just love it. I absolutely, absolutely love it. Joyce, it's very true. The longer Harry stays away from that island, the stronger he gets. Yeah, absolutely. This is so very true. Tesla says, nothing forced, everything just natural. Yeah, it's just like he's with his people. They respond to him that way, and he responds to them that way. And he's at home there. And so it just, Yolibi says he's African in his heart. He feels peaceful at home in Africa. Over there, he gets genuine love. Very, very true. Very, very true. I mean, when you read Spare and his time over there in Africa, really different parts of Africa, and even when he was younger and met Princeso, and he's like one of them, and it's just like that's just like his people, and you don't see this natural love and just outpouring from him with any other, even with people in the UK, even with his own people in the UK. There's a little bit, even though he is that effusive love, but it is also that little bit of guard. It's like there is no guard, there is nothing, no filters between him and when he is around African people. It just love. It's like here. And so I absolutely love it. So yes. And it's so funny. One of our squaddies actually, even before we get to that, a little bit about the university. I never. This is a South African website. I was like, oh, okay, I've never used them before, but this is a little bit of Harry. You can see Harry in the middle there. He took a picture with the choir, and again, this is actually one of the top choirs in the world, and I love the diversity in this group, and it's just like, oh wow, this is really cool. It says the world-renowned choir performed at the ISBS Sports Values Summit on 9th of August, which featured a panel that included Prince Harry, SU Rector and Vice Chancellor Professor Wim de Valliers, hopefully I said his name right, and the former All Blacks rugby player Dan Carter, among others. Keep spreading the love, the Duke of Sussex told the choir before asking for a hug. Thank you. And so this is the choir director then was to Harry. Thank you that you spend so much time with us. For such an icon, ooh, look at him. For such an icon, so modest. Oh my word. Andre de Van der Meer. I don't know. I'm sorry, Mr. Van der Meer, if that's not how you name. I'm sorry. I did my best. The South Africa choir conductor said to the Duke, Du Villiers and 50 of the South Africa choir members were invited to the summit by Dr. Harusa Handa, a Japanese philanthropist and businessman, according to the SU press release. And so they're just so adorable. I mean, so I can understand why Harry spent, as he said, Harry was able to spend quite a bit of time with them. So I can understand them. They're just the cutest thing in the world. I was like, oh. And again, so multiracial. It's like, you go South Africa. Very good. I like this. Actually, I'm gonna go YouTube them to hear the music because I had not a chance to listen to anything from them. So I will just take, and apparently they Harry is a fan of theirs, so I want to hear this music. And maybe next time we can listen to a little bit of their music. So very cool. And someone of our wonderful squaddies brought this up. Just how Meghan and Harry, and there's actually even another picture of Meghan where some of the kids were sort of like surrounded her, and she's like in the middle of them, sort of like how Harry is in the middle of the group taking the selfie. And so we remember that when Meghan was back in the UK on their final go around as senior royals, and she was at the school in Dagenham, and so they were doing the Women's Day sign, and so it was just just the joy and that they had when they were around her. And again, you can't teach this. You cannot teach people to have this kind of connection with, especially kids, especially teenagers, especially that age. I know, I work with them, and so you cannot teach that. And so you have it or you just don't. And they seem to both have this kind of connection with teens that many people, and definitely, and no one in the royals have. We've seen the photos and we've seen the videos, and I can confirm 100% they don't have it. So it's really, really wonderful to see. Them with with these kids. So what else is going on? And of course, the 12th, Harry and Nacho, who are either in Singapore right now or on their way to Singapore, and so they're going to be playing on the 12th, which I'm assuming is Saturday. Yeah, I think. Yeah. And which would most likely be Friday for most of us because Japan, I'm assuming Singapore and Japan might be on the same the same time zone. So yeah, I did not look up Singapore's time, which is something I need to do. So to see what time it is going to be. So yeah, it just and of course Nacho and Harry are going to be captaining opposite teams, different teams. So we know what side Church Nelly is going to be on. But I'm sorry, Church Nelly, I am on Team Harry. So I love Nacho, but not when he's playing Harry. So there. So I guess we are all going to have to pick our sides and love them both in the end. So there. And Tesla says, children are no hypocrites. They react to what they see. Adults teach them hypocrisy. This is 100% correct. 100% correct. They're not, and they know who they love and they know who they run away from. You cannot teach them. I mean, later on in life, you can teach them how to sort of hide their feelings and all of those things. But naturally, no, they gravitate to who they gravitate to. So, yeah. Yalibi says, teens would see through you in a second. Oh, yes, they can. If you genuinely love them and respect them, they will know it and love you back. If you're fake, they will give you a side look and stay away from you. Very, very, very true. I can attest 100%. Very true. So they know when you're fake, and they know, and they are very bluntly honest too. So yeah, so but I love it. I love them. Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator. Hello, Cookies and Cream. Cookies and says, thank God Harry and Meghan got away from that toxic, vile, unroyal family. They knew that to stay in the UK was to their detriment. Yep, totally agree. I mean, stuff happens in life and you're like, how, why? But again, some difficult things happen where in the end it'll work out in your favor. I don't think Harry, before he met Meghan, could have ever imagined himself being away from his family. He said as much. He dreamed about leaving, but he didn't have the will. He couldn't figure out at the time how this would happen. But I'm sure at that time, he's like, he couldn't imagine being such an incredible success away from there. And in spite of all the nastiness that they and their horrible press have thrown at him, and still be able to walk in love, walk in just compassion and empathy and grace, and just be smiling, and have his own family that they are closed away from all that mess and be thriving. I mean, what an incredible, what incredible story of withstanding difficult times and coming out of it and being this positive person. I mean, when stuff like that get thrown at you, you can go one way or another. A lot of people have gone the anger route. Harry has chose to name it, call it out, speak the truth about it, call it for what it is, and move on, and move on in love. And I love that. That's the way you do it. Don't keep your stuff in. Say what you need to say and move on. And I love to see it. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to say. Absolutely wonderful thing to say. Um, let's see. I'm in the chat for a minute. Hello, Faith Manzini. How are you? Welcome. Let's see. Cho, I haven't seen you in a while. Is it? Well, maybe actually it's just me. Maybe I have been the one not be here for a lot, so that could be why I haven't seen you. It says, hence the mountain of hate, jealousy, and attacks became their weapon to disrespect his successful charities. That proves time and time again positive. Yeah, I'm telling you, trials. We go through trials. I'm telling you. The proof about who we are is how we're able to withstand all of that negative stuff coming out. So yeah. Alan Vernon says, and first of all, thank you so much, Alan, for your donation. Thank you very much. And Alan says, Petal, I saw a headline yesterday that says Harry was taking Archie to Africa to make up for not going to the coronation. I mean, look, you take Archie to Africa for great, go hang out with Prince Cecil and all your other friends, and Mike and Tej and all of them in Africa, wherever they are out there in Africa. Sure, but what does that have to do with the coronation? Or really a con-a-nation? I mean, such silliness. I'm telling you. This is silly season. Summer is silly season with royal reporting. As you know, all of the royals are on vacation, so you don't hear from them for like 2 months. And then they come back and they work for a week and then take another 2 months off, which is usually their thing. And so when that happens, of course, they need to, their column inches there that needs to be filled. As Meghan says, there's real estate in their paper that needs to be filled up. And so hence you find all the nonsense that's been reported, including some from the US, like People Magazine, who I blocked. I was like, I cannot, People Magazine have become the US version of the Express lately. And so I have them blocked, and most squatties are blocking them because it's like, no, just no, so just really ridiculous. They don't have access to the Sussexes, so they just make stuff up. And People and all the rest, when I keep saying that People is a tabloid, people usually, even squatties, have come at me like, no, it's not a tabloid, it's a magazine. I was like, I don't care what it is. The reporting is tabloid reporting. And I don't care that it comes in magazine form or if it comes in a broadsheet or whatever it comes in. That's just technical stuff. For me, I'm speaking in terms of the reporting, the lies, the fake sources, the whole bit. It's a tabloid. And so, and again, many people have been like, no. I was like, no, they are. They are the same as the New York Post or Page Six or the Express or the Daily Mail or you just roll them all into one. Granted, People is not as, say, vicious as say the Daily Mail and the Sun and stuff like that. But the same patterns are there, the same trying to control people by, if you don't give me stuff, I'm just going to write nasty stuff about you until you do. It's the same level of control they want. It just comes in a nicer package, and it comes in a magazine instead of, the tabloid format. It's the same pattern. They just say it nicer. But the attitude and the narcissism of the press, it's still there with the American press. It's the same. So yeah, that's why people is. But I was like, I'm not even. I do not retweet. I don't care if the article is positive or negative. I don't care. I block them. So yeah. Um, let's see. Joy says people mad gas become. I'm not sure what gas means. Become the mouthpiece for the royal family, or has become the mouthpiece for the royal family to Simon Perry, who is British reporter who works for People. Very true, very true. And so they've been like this constant Harry and Meghan. It's like all stuff is like a source, a source, a source close to. I'm like, different from the Express. So I've basically labeled them the Express of America because that's what they are. Delores says People magazine has become a tabloid. You know, I always thought of them as a tabloid. So there you go. Whether they became or they always are, which I've always felt like they always are. For me, they're no different from Us Magazine or any of them. They all make stuff up. Yes, People had a better reputation than, say, Us Magazine or any one of those. But for me, when I look at, I'm like, it's all tabloids. It's all tabloids. And of course, they're a dying industry. So they are trying to make money. So guess who they report about? Fake stories and all. Meghan, especially. So yeah. Yuli says, People magazine, there you go, has become a joke. Not that it was much better before, which is exactly how I think. They weren't any better before. Now they're more obsessive with Harry and Meghan, but, anyways. Moving on from People and their nonsense. What else is up with our fave? And yeah, today we saw, I was actually waiting for a picture that was not from the Daily Mail. So thank you, Guardian. So we saw Harry and Nacho obviously leaving Tokyo today and go, and I'm assuming they're most likely in, I didn't check how many hours the flight is from Tokyo to Singapore, but I'm assuming they're there by now. But this was them at the airport, I guess, leaving Tokyo today. So Harry and Nacho looking, it's like, can I just say again how happy I am that the Lord, and I'm crediting the Lord with this, giving Harry a brother that he deserves. Not that we deserve family or we deserve, but a brother that really is a brother to him. I mean, I don't, I don't recognize the other person. I do not recognize him. For me, that's just Charles's son. That's it. But for me, this is a brother. Him just. I mean, even recently, New York Post were writing all this nonsense, and Nacho just put BS. That's been his whole thing, and the whole narrative changed when Nacho, he did that for a couple of news outlets with the nonsense, and it's just like I am just so happy that Harry has a friend. And sometimes, they're friends, as the Bible says, there are some friends that sticks closer than a brother. And for me, this is Harry's brother, and him and Prince Iso. And I'm so happy that Harry had these people in his life. And, just, reading and hearing, or at least listening to him talk about his relationship with Mike and Teach in Africa, and the relation, and there was one time where he called her mom, and that's how close they were. And it's just like, sometimes you choose your family. It's your family and not necessarily the ones that are, blood relations or that was chosen for me. Sometimes your family are who you choose. And so I am really happy that Harry has people in his life that he can really, just be silly with and be family with. So I'm really happy that it's just like, oh, thank you, Nacho. Thank you. And Nacho and Delphina and all your kids who I don't know their names are, but thank you all for being family to Harry and Meghan, because they really needed that, And so, yeah. Let's see. Lit for success. Not surprised that Daily Fail and others present themselves like hungry vultures to get food. I'm telling you, they are definitely vultures. And it's like any little piece of Harry or Meghan is just like 20 articles, 30 articles and it's just like, it's like you're starving, you know. It's just like, maybe it's time y'all start writing the truth about the royal family, and that will give you content instead of being silly sycophants writing nonsense about people and writing, and no wonder you guys, anytime you get anything about the Sussexes, you go crazy. Because if I was sick of a sycophant of the royals and be stuck with just writing what they told me to write, then yeah, I can see why y'all are like ravenous wolves. Unbelievable. So there's like, well, my thoughts exactly. Harry has two brothers. Yep. Thanks be to God. Exactly. Exactly. You know. Let's see. Marjorie says Prince Harry is the type of flock you want to invite to your barbecue and don't feel any different. Yeah, I'm telling you, Harry has like a permanent, invitation to all of our barbecues. And I don't even eat barbecue. And he can come to mine anyway. So there. Um, Joy says the Daily Mail and others are going to be hovering over the polo match and the Invictus Games for 10 days. Yeah, oh yeah, they definitely are. I mean, just this conference yesterday, I know there were 30 news outlets that were at the conference, international news outlets, obviously local in Japan and then international news outlets. I don't know who all of they were, but apparently there were 30 different ones. They are definitely going to be right next door there in Dusseldorf, especially the Royal Rhoda. But I hope Harry treats them the way he treated them in The Hague, like lose yourself. I mean, yes, he spoke to, and he did the interview with the BBC, but his friend actually was working for the BBC, and I'm assuming he's going to be working for the BBC again this time for the Invictus Games. So Harry did the interview with them, and he also did one with Hoda for NBC. That was the one day that NBC was not in my doghouse. They've since been back. So I gave Hoda a pass because she did a good job in the interview, but, back to the doghouse. Let's see. What else is happening? I'm telling you, can we just talk about Harry, the organizations, the charities that he's created? And it's just so warm my heart to see it on the stage. And if you look at you see the photo on the top left, you see Santa Bali represented, Invictus represented there. And then on the right, I'm telling you, Travelers is all up in the mix in Japan as well. And this was from Sustainable Japan, international agreement with Travelers and Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, advanced ecosystem integrations, or whatever it is they did. There's an article there. I'll link the article. Didn't get a chance to go through it, but Sustainable Japan is now in an agreement with Travelers, so they'll be working together with Sustainable Japan. So Harry brought all of his charities and organizations there, including the Archwell hat. So now, don't know what he did with Archwell, but wouldn't be surprised if he connected with some, people there in terms of working with them with Archwell. And it's just like, you go. This man is so ridiculously impressive, is not even funny. Which always boggles the mind that he could spend his entire life, 30-something years in the UK, and they will literally walk out of this and look you in the eye and tell you that Harry is, I'm not even going to say the negative names they refer to him, but as someone not intelligent. And it's just like, no, the problem is you're not intelligent. You're not intelligent enough to see what's right in front of you. And plus you're blind and dumb and stupid and all the other things that goes along with that. But it's amazing. And on top of that, look at Amazon Japan, Spare is number one. Apparently it was way, way, way down. And Harry strolls into Japan or rolls into Japan, and Amazon Japan, Spare's number one. I'm like, are you serious? So all of Harry, everything that's about Harry is just like everything in Japan right now. And I was just like, you go, Prince Harry. You go. I'm telling you what the Lord has in store for you. Nobody can take away from you. No matter what they try to do, they cannot take it away from you. We just have to not, tune out the noise, which I'm so happy to see Harry and Meghan have been able to tune out the noise, put their head down, and continue to work. Tyler Perry talked about it. He said, there's an interview, and I think I posted it or at least I uploaded it on the channel. He's talking about one of the most difficult things to do is when you're successful, when people are talking mess about you. It's very difficult to just stay silent and focus on your work. And this is what they've done. They have not, people are like, well, why didn't they fight back when, with the Spotify thing, when that guy said that nasty stuff about them? Why didn't they fight back? And I was like, because they're busy. They don't have time. They spend time worrying about everybody who said nasty things about them. That's what their whole life will become about. But while you're over there, like that's like, well, you're over there doing your mess and being negative. We're over here focusing on our business and building relationships and building our company. And that's why we are successful, And Tyler's, his thing was like, people now are like, oh my gosh, Tyler, you're so successful. It was. He's like, yeah, because I didn't take my time and I didn't spend my time worried about the mess y'all were talking about over there. I focused on what I was doing. And this is what Harry and Meghan are doing. And I was just like, I love it. I love it. This is why they're so successful, And people have to make up stupid. It's like, oh, they're not successful. I was like, well, I can either listen to your mess or I can look at the facts. I can come into the real world and look at the evidence. And according to the evidence, which you don't have, according to the evidence, you cannot, it's like it's right in front of you. You cannot argue with this evidence. And so I am just so excited. Hello. Hello, Harry. I absolutely love it. So I'm telling you, congratulations, man. This man's so deserving. He's so deserving. And this is his heart. Like he said there, his life is always going to be about charity. And it's everything. It's who he is. Giving back is who he is. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Let's see what else is happening. Let's see, go in the chat for a second. Judge Nelly says you either have it or have it factor. Oh, have the it factor or you don't. Excuse me. Harry and Meghan have the it factor. Deadhead or not. They're not. They are not. They absolutely don't have that it factor. And that's why the jealousy came in. That's why they had to get Harry and Meghan out of the country, Of course, we know this, Church Nelly. Of course, you're going to be Team Nacho. Of course. So you and I are going to be like, we are going to be going after each other. I mean, we're going to love them later. But I am firmly Team Harry. I love Nacho after. Let's see. Zandy P. Hello, Zandy P. How are you? Zandy says, the fact that there should be a huge outrage and petitions against People magazine and other American tabloids and magazines. In a world that didn't go on, a world where if you sort of team up and go against a person, then you give them clout and you give them notice. In a world that didn't have that, then yes. But this is exactly what they would want. Because you go after them, that's what they want. The algorithms, they will shoot up in popularity. You go after them, and that's why they put those articles out there. Because they want you to come and they want you to come under, especially coming under their posts or quote tweeting them or sharing their screenshots, whatever, however you interact with them. That's what they want. They don't care about our outrage. A lot of times they mute us anyway. They don't care. The only thing they care about is that we clicked. We clicked and we engaged. Whether it's because we like them, we are outraged, we are indifferent, whatever our reactions are, as long as we interact and as long as we engage, that's what they want. So yeah, it's just like, we could definitely do poll, whatever, or we can have a huge outrage or petitions and stuff, but that's what they want because it gives them relevance. And the thing that they fear is to become irrelevant. where nobody cares and nobody buys or nobody clicks on their stuff because one, if when they're relevant, they'll make money. That's advertiser dollars coming in for them. When they're irrelevant, nobody cares. They are not going to get paid for it, and most likely will go out of business, which I hope, you know. And so yeah, that's the thing. You want to be outraged, which in a perfect world, Zandy, I would say yeah, because it's what they deserve. But in the age of social media and how the algorithms are stacked up, in say Twitter or whatever platform you are, you go after them, you just make them you just what you do is then, other outlets would be like, oh my gosh, people are going after, people are going after, fans or whatever are going after people. And then more people come in because they get curious about why we're going after people. And then they give them more popularity and more and more and more. And then they could get outraged at them and whatever. And next thing you know, they're relevant. Even from a negative thing, they get relevance, and the relevance is what matters. And so, yeah, they don't care how they get popularity as long as they get it. Negative attention is still attention, and that's what they want. And so for us is the reason why, when those royal reporters write books, we're like, ignore them. Don't talk about it. Don't tweet about it. Don't screenshot it. Don't nothing. Just literally say nothing about it, because that is the thing that they fear the most. And if you notice, how many royal reporters in the last year have written books from last year because they were trying to get their books out before Harry's book so that people would read it, except people were like, nah, we'll wait for Prince Harry. There are tons of them that has put out book. And because why? We are like, nope, we're not. I don't care what you write. We're not. Other than I think maybe Tom Brower, when there were a few squaddies that pointed out all his lies and called him on it. And so because of that, it turned a lot of people away from it, because people then realized what the mess that was. But the others, completely silent. Especially what is it, Robert Jobson's book about the King Charles, that did nothing. Nothing. Before you know it, the devil spawned herself, her book about Camilla, and next thing I knew, it was I think it was selling at some discount place for like $1.99 or some craziness like that. They can't even give that stuff away for free, And so the thing that they fear is irrelevance, and sometimes we have to pick and choose our battles, and some of them we just pay them dust, like people and like those royal reporters who want to use Harry and Meghan to make money or bucks, So yeah, I know, like, for example, Omid is coming out with one that's called Endgame and all of that stuff. I love Omid and I'd love to support him, but for me, it's like, one, I already got Harry and Meghan. I already have Harry and Meghan docuseries. I got Harry's take on stuff. I don't think his book is necessarily about the Sussexes. Of course, they will be in there. It's more about the royal family. And but my other thing with it is produced by, at least it's his publisher is Rupert Murdoch's publisher. Day Street Books is Rupert Murdoch's people. And I was like, I held my nose for Finding Freedom, but I'm not willing to hold my nose for anything Rupert Murdoch ever again. So I love you, Omid, but I'm a pass. I'm a pass. I would love to support Omid, but it's like, that's Rupert Murdoch. And again, Rupert Murdoch's tentacles are all over the place. So, I didn't know that Day Street Books was his until someone brought it up, and it's like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah, really. So anyway, and that's unfortunate. Again, I'd love to support Omid, but it's like, and again, I'm not telling you what to do. That's just me. You all go out and support him if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just saying for me. So away from Harry a little bit, and this happened. So we know that Suits is doing amazing. It is absolutely doing amazing. It is the show of the summer. People just can't get enough of this show. And it just, again, this is a show that's, I think it was 10 or like 12 years ago. I think it debuted about 12 years ago. And it has been off the air, off of cable television for 4 years. And obviously everybody is like falling all over themselves for Suits, for in every which way. Nobody can get away from Suits because And again, when you look at something like this, and a lot of, especially those in the press, like to say, "Oh, no, 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 the actors need us to promote their show and all of that stuff." In the case of Suits, as in the case of some others, it was not the media that got this to be where it is. It's the fans. People started discovering it, and on social media, people started like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! Meghan Markle is so." Put in an adjective of "I want to steal Harry's wife," and it's just like people started going crazy about it and about Meghan, and it just blew up. And then the media came in, and so it was one of those things where it's like, sometimes you just don't need the media. We should just stay away. But anyway, one of the things that I've been very concerned about, and we've talked about it here before, is are the people the creators, the actors, the crew, the cast and crew of this show, have they been compensated? Have they been getting their residuals? And the creator, Aaron Korsh, had said that, because it wasn't created for streaming, for example, it was not created by Netflix or any one of the streaming channel, they do get their residuals from, if it's showing in Canada or Europe or wherever it is showing, they would get residuals from there, and plus get some, whatever deal that's worked out with USA, which was that was the original, the original outlet. Company that produced it, really NBC via them. And so they would have worked out a deal where, I assume with Netflix, where the cast and crew gets residuals. And so this has been one of the things that I've been concerned about. Are they getting their money? Because it is blown up to where it is now. It is on Netflix. It is on Peacock. I think it's on Amazon as well. And so are they getting money from there? And so because Aaron Korsh had said that the writers, he knew the writers were taken care of. He wasn't sure about the actors because the actors are with SAG, which is a different union. He wasn't sure. And so this is what we jumped into this. So I was always very concerned. Many people were concerned about this because the actors are literally on strike right now. Aaron Korsh, who's the creator of it, is on strike. Some of the actors are on strike. They have, we've seen pictures of them with their out there with their picket signs and everything. So Gary Scott Thompson, one of the writers for the show, LA Times did an article on him today. And this is what I saw, and it was just like, oh gosh, this is what I was hoping was not happening. Opinion: I helped write the surprise Netflix sensation Suits. My reward: $259.71. That's right. And it was just one of those things. It's just like, what? Yeah, because we've seen some actors post their checks, their residual checks. One person got some cents. I think someone from Orange is the New Black got some literally a check for something like 75 cents or something. One of them got a check from Disney for $0. They literally wrote a check, sign it, and send it to someone with $0 on it. And so this is why they're striking. So a little bit about the article. It says Suits sets the records atop Nielsen overall streaming charts. The Witcher leads the top original. And so this is the story about it. It says, in America, unprecedented success begets unprecedented wealth. When Michael Jordan wins six championships, or Mark Zuckerberg invents social media, they earn billions. True. Not only them, but also their teammates, the people whose contributions weren't just meaningful, but necessary. In success, they get paid too, but not in Hollywood. Here, when you write a show that becomes an unprecedented success like Suits, there is no windfall. There is only a check for $257.71. It doesn't matter whether the show you helped build generate 3.1 billion viewing minutes in 1 week across Netflix, NBC Universal's Peacock, setting in a Nielsen record. It doesn't matter whether said show constitutes 40% of Netflix top 10, $259.71. That is how much Suits episode 1 wrote. Identity Crisis earned last quarter in streaming residuals. Altogether, NBC Universal paid the 6 original Suits writer less than $3,000 last quarter to stream our 11 season 1 episodes on 2 platforms. Less than $3,000 in a whole quarter, when Netflix is making, we've been talking about this on here for all this time. In 1 week, over 3 billion minutes viewed. Netflix is raking in tons and tons of money from these views, but yet this writer only got $259.71. And in a whole quarter, 3 months, less than $3,000. And this is why they're striking. This is so grossly unfair, and everybody is excited and they're bragging about how much money, and how much viewing minutes the Netflix, and it's great, and the success is great. But the people who are not winning, the people who actually created the show, the writers, the directors, the producers, the craftspeople, the actors, they're the ones that are making nothing. Yet the people who had nothing to do with the show, i.e. Netflix, they just acquired the show, they are raking in tons of money, millions of dollars worldwide. And the people who actually created the show, nothing. And this is so bad. This is bad, but this is even, they even want, like right now, I think it was Netflix, but I know definitely Disney and some of the studio, they are right now hiring hundreds of thousands of dollars looking for people who are experts in AI, where they can, for example, if it's a background actor, an extra on the set or a background actor, come in to, they hire them for a day to come in and be background for a show. They want to hire AI people to come in and take that performance, and they could use it for forever, in any form they want, and they can use your work, whatever you did on that one time, for the rest of for the rest of eternity, and use and allow AI people to do whatever they want with that, and never ever hire you back. So they can use AI to recreate whatever it is you do, and you have no say about it. They never have to pay you 1 cent. After, if you're a background actor, I think you get $150 or $160 or something like that per day, and it's like a 10-hour shift. I know, I've done background work. And they can use your performance to do whatever it was and manipulate it. And we know what AI can do, and manipulate it in whatever way you want. And you, after that $160, you never ever get another cent from them. And they can use your image to do whatever they want to do for the rest of eternity. That's one of the reasons they are striking. SAG was like, no. I was like, hello, who would want to go do background for you ever again? Or whatever. But, now it's background, but that's going to transfer to these actors as well. They know that's coming. And so that's also why they're striking. On top of there's a very disproportionate, the people who run studios, they make millions and millions of dollars a year, while people who are actually working on the show and creating the show would make hundreds. Someone did I should have brought this in. I hope I still have it. They did side by side for each studio, what the executive make and what the person, I think it was the creator of a show would make or something like that. And it's the difference. It's it's mind blowing. So to see the executives now saying, they don't understand. It's really unrealistic what they're asking for and all of that stuff. When you see the dollar amount of what they are making, they could be in their private jets telling you that, what you're asking for is unreasonable, while they're flying in their private jets, or they're on their country house somewhere, and you can't even afford to pay rent. A lot of people who are protesting out there right now are losing apartments. They don't have a job, so they're losing their homes and all of that stuff. A couple of days ago, one of these actors was like, I'm going to have to sell my house. I've talked about it here before. There was an article talking about so many people, and they're not actors or stuff, but stagehands and all of those things. A lot of them live in their cars because they cannot afford LA rent, and they're not making enough in the at the studio to be able to cover their rent. And that's why Gary was saying, even if at this rate, the residual rate of $259.71, even if the studio were to increase that by 100%, it still wouldn't be enough to cover rent, because that will just make it to be just under $600, $600. It's still not enough to cover rent, because LA rent, that's why you have all these homelessness in New York and LA. It's the same thing, because rent is so high. It is not measuring up, that the salary is not measuring up to the cost of living around them. So a lot of them are, you could be like, oh yeah, I'm working for this studio, and it sounds great on paper. What people don't realize is that you're living in a car because you can't afford to live in an apartment. And so this is why when one of them, and I think it was a Netflix guy, I was like, yeah, we're just going to wait them out. They're going to start losing their homes. They're going to go back to work. This is what they've been doing. So it's just this very, very, very disturbing. Is really, really, and this is the thing that I was afraid of, even when I'm, really supporting Suits and really excited that it's doing so well because of it's on Netflix. This is what I've been afraid of. It's like part of me is like, I don't even want to know, because I didn't want to know that they weren't taking care of the actors. And again, he's a writer. So writers and the actors, they have different unions, different contracts. So again, this is for the writers. He's a writer. I am so hoping that it's, it's better for the actors, because it's like, and if the thing is, not many of the actors have really even tweeted about it or whatever. I mean, that because one, they're on strike, but it's just like, could this be why they have, they're saying that they're grateful, because people are finally really giving the show the love that it really should have had really all along, but they're happy that they're getting that kind of attention. But still, it's like, it's sort of like a tepid yeah, I'm really grateful, but I'm not really saying that I'm not getting the residuals that, that kind of popularity deserve, so it's just really, I'm telling you, Hollywood is a tough, I hope they keep striking until they get what they want, so yeah. And a little other thing about talk about staying on Suits for a minute. As you can see, Suits is number 2. So I checked it again. It's like, yep, it is. It was number 4 a couple of days ago. Now it's back up to number 2. It has just stayed in the top 5. There is always like a Suits presence since it came out in June. It stayed in the top 5. A lot of times, sometimes there are 3 and 4 episodes within, or 3 or 4 seasons within the top 10. And it's just amazing. So part of this article that is very, very important for producers and directors and content creators to really take seriously, because I'm glad that Los Angeles Times brought it up, because I thought about this. It says an overlooked aspect of this strike is that writers and actors are fighting to protect the quality of the shows that people watch. The resurgence of Suits comes at an opportune moment for executives. The business is shut down because of the strike, obviously. They have time to take stock of what has worked and what hasn't. Among the questions they might ask, what does it say that a show that debuted 12 years ago is outperforming dozens of newer original series that Netflix has spent hundreds of millions of dollars producing? And so for me, I thought about the other day, I'm like, this is Suits outperforming a lot of the shows that are, that are new, that are, again, Netflix, and not just Netflix, but other streaming platforms. They're throwing millions of dollars at shows, and they're creating all these shows. And yet there comes Suits that's been off the air really for 4 years, and that was created 12 years ago. And it's outperforming them because people want quality. They don't just want, oh my gosh, this story just happened. So let's just make a mini series out of it, or just make a movie out of it, or make a, 6-part series out of something that just, you know what I mean? Unless you're the Harry and Meghan docu-series, a lot of those things don't work, and Netflix keeps pulling them off the air after one show or after whatever because they're not working, because the content isn't there. And I'm glad the Times brought it up, because what is it? And again, what does it say that a show that debuted 12 years ago is outperforming the ones that you just created and you threw all these millions at? It tells you the quality of the show that Suits says. It tells you the humor, the writing, the acting, the relationships, the chemistry of the cast. So many shows don't have that. And Suits have that, and that's why it's doing. People want quality, not quantity. They want quality work. They don't want just stuff thrown at them. And that's why Suits is doing so well. And it isn't just doing well, it's people are raving about just the chemistry, the humor, the writing, everything. And that's why it's doing so well. And so I'm glad they brought it up, because it's very important. It is so very important. We don't want the nonsense that is just like, oh, let's just do it. So there you go. But I think that's it for that. What else is happening? You know what? I have all this stuff on Dan Wootton. Do you guys want to talk about Dan Wootton? I'm like, I just want to stay on the Sussexes because it's so positive. I mean, except this, not as positive. But do you guys want to talk about? I'm going to give you a vote. Do you want to talk about Dan Wootton's mess, or do you want to hear that another time that has nothing to do with the Sussexes' wonderful day and talking about this stuff? I'm going to let you decide if we're going to talk about it or not. Because, more stuff came out and it's just like, oh. Very important to know is that the British press is gone. They've pressed mute on themselves again. It's like if the Sun write about it, or if they talk about it, if they and he's like, no. and it's like Sussexes, but she's like, absolutely not. You're leaving as if it's like, yeah, we need to keep the fire. And Shania is like, no, to the Dan Wootton stuff. So okay, I think you're outnumbered right now. Well, yeah, I think you're outnumbered right now. So I'm just gonna let you guys vote and decide what is. You tell me if you want to talk Dan Wootton, or we'll just do it at another time. Melissa doesn't want to hear about Dan Wootton today. Okay, Sonia's like, no, Dan Wootton's something else today. Okay, Lisa's like, no. Cookies and Cream's like, talk about the Dan Wootton mess. We need to keep it out there. Okay. Mara, no predators, please. Tomorrow, talk. Little Bag's like, please talk about Dan. And he's like, no. Let's see. I'm gonna do a few more. I'll let a few more of you chime in as to what you want, and we'll talk about it or not. Denise says, I want to talk about the white chair memes. That was last episode. Yes, those white chair memes. Terry's like, he makes me sick. It's up to you, Petal. Well, Terry, I want you to tell me. Well, since he make you sick, I'm assuming that's a no. Sandy's like, do it. Expose about Dan Wootton. Paula's like, yeah, we need to keep it alive. Janice's like, another day. Like that, Janice like, another day, Petal. Not today. Today, we are warding off evil spirits. Ed is like, well, how much is the campaign fund? Oh, are we talking about the Dan Wootton fund that's stuck at 38,000? And I still can't believe people actually gave him 38,000. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Teresa says, sick at this moment. Dolores like, nah, need a break. Emerald is like, nothing will be done to Donnie Wooty. So now it was woo-woo, now it's Wooty. So what's the use of talking about him? Okay, so I think the general consensus is another day for Dan Wootton, another day, which will be tomorrow. So there you go. So let's just jump ahead. We'll leave Dan Wootton's mess, and just so you know, even with that, there I think we got 7. No, it was 8. Byline Times has said that they're in this week actually two more episodes are coming out about Dan Wooten. So we're not going to be missing out on anything. Tomorrow we'll focus on that. And yeah. And just a separate, I mean, there's so much fun stuff with Harry and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up with Dan Wooten and his mess. Karen M, our awesome moderator, says, let's keep it positive today. Yes, at least positive. So Tadia's like, woot woot, Dolly, we know. We never thought you would receive your medicine. Your arms are too weak to box with God and Sussex and Sussex squad. I think now we're the sausage squad. So sorry. No, the Santibali Campaign Fund. Okay. Okay, so we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do Dan Woo Woo Wooty tomorrow, and we'll just focus on our faves today. So let's see. What else is happening before we even actually get back to our fave? Yesterday, I didn't realize this. Yesterday was our girl Whitney, at least my girl. I always think of her as my girl. Whitney's would have been, I think, 60 years old yesterday had she, lived. And so yeah, I was just like, oh, Whitney, why? I've never gotten over Whitney dying. It's hard to even still to this day process that we don't have Whitney and we don't have Michael and we don't have Prince. Because my childhood, was Whitney, Prince, and Michael. My mom is like, oh my gosh, she's like a purple woman. She's especially with Prince, with Prince. And so it's still very hard for me to process that we don't have them. And so yesterday would have been her birthday. And the picture on the right, I didn't realize Whitney, I guess somebody, kept the Whitney Houston Twitter handle, and they tweeted out the photo of Whitney in New York, the big sign with her that's in Times Square. And so it's like, oh my goodness. And you probably recognize this building because like I did a whole video right there. And so it just, yeah, it's like, oh, Whitney. So anyways, she's there resting in peace. What else? Prince Harry did a video, and actually this one that I saw was to the Invictus team in Colombia, and so they're going to be part of the Invictus Games. For the first time, they, along with Nigeria, they're going to be a part of the Invictus Games coming up at I keep wanting to say The Hague, in Dusseldorf. Home for respect, pedal at home for respect. So there you go. So they're going to be doing, so Harry, let's see. I hope you guys can hear it because I didn't play the video.
Well, we are exactly 1 month away from creating a Home for Respect in Dusseldorf 2023 for the next Invictus Games. I hope you're excited. I'm probably a little bit nervous. I'm both. But I can't wait to see all of you and have the whole community together once again. It's been too long. For some of you, this may be your first games. For some of you, maybe your second games. And for some of you, maybe your third games. But either way, there will be an element of excitement as well as nervousness. And I'm sure some of you have been waiting for this moment for a very long time. You're all on different parts of your healing journey. We all are, we always will be. But I can assure you that this experience that you're going to have will hopefully be life-changing. And you'll come out of it a better person for sure. So really, I just wanted to say good luck with the remaining few weeks. Have fun, look forward to it. Being nervous and having some anticipation is a really good thing. Obviously, we've got 21 nations this year. As you know, we've got Nigeria, Israel, and Colombia that's joining us. I can't wait to have every continent represented, except Antarctica. Still working on that. But I really just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment, your determination, getting to this point. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I can't wait to have all of you together. And yeah, look forward to it. These last few weeks, those last few days will be exciting and nervous. But we're ready. We're ready to host you, and it's going to be the best games ever. Best games yet. All right, guys, take care. Cheers.
Oh, Harry. Hopefully you guys were able to hear that. My mic and my headsets are a little crazy. So yeah, very excited. We're all going to be cheering on the new ones coming in: Israel, Nigeria, and Colombia. And so kudos to all of them. New Zealand missed the last one; they're going to be back. Obviously, Ukraine is going to be back again. So all of the teams are going to be there. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to when someone, maybe Trinidad and Tobago or Jamaica, one of those come in hopefully the next time. So yes, but very, very exciting. Obviously starting in September. Yeah, so very, very cool. Thank you, Prince Harry. So hopefully you guys were able to hear that. It's a little bit low on my side. So yeah. Oh, Karen said it was loud and loud enough. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Good. So thank you, Karen M. What else we have? Oh, Invictus swag. I saw this today and I was like, oh, this is interesting because I know Lydia. If you check Lydia, post the link, and the link is also going to be in our show notes. And now that my classes are all over, my summer school is over, so I can actually update update my our show notes with all of this stuff that I've been meaning to that I haven't been able to. So the link is going to be there. This is t-shirts that the Invictus shop is selling, and these t-shirts, as you can see, these are names of all of the athletes on there. It's like you know how the Vietnam Wall is, and last time at the Hague had all the names of, they had their own wall, the Invictus wall, and had all their names on the wall. Well, these are shirts with the names of all the participants that's going to be there in Dusseldorf. And this was I saw this today. I think tomorrow is going to be the last day, I think, that they're going to be selling this t-shirt. It's like a limited edition. It says last call, a competitor shirt with the names of all competitors attending the IG23 is still available for pre-order until tomorrow. So if you want to get all this shirt with all the names of the athletes that's going to be at the Invictus Games, do it today. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the last day. So yeah, I was just like, oh, this is cool. So it'd be like wearing around that t-shirt with all the competitors' names on it. And this is like, oh, this is so cool. This is so very cool. So I think I'm actually going to order one of those just for a keepsake, So yeah, very, very nice. It's like good work, Invictus Dusseldorf, home for respect. So yeah, very, very, very exciting. And I think finally, yeah, this is us from today. Again, this number might have gone up since I got this from earlier today. And so the fundraiser is now at $26,430. So that's what that is, the Sentebale, the Sussex Squad fundraiser for Sentebale, obviously the same organization that Prince Harry and Nacho going to be playing polo for in a couple of days. So yeah, kudos to all of you who have supported. And please, if you're not able to support financially, you can share it, you can post it on your social media, you can tell your friends about it. Whatever you do, anything you do is really, really important. So don't worry if oops, I just knocked over my thing. Don't worry if you're not able to financially support. There's a lot of ways you can show that you can support, and every bit of it helps. So every bit of it is important. So kudos to you, Sussex Squad, as usual. 26,430. And of course, there's like a month ago. This is going until Harry's birthday, and the goal was 10,000. So there you go. Way above 10,000 right now. So here you go. I'm over 16,000 over 10,000. So there you go. So I'm gonna just stay in the chat for a bit. We'll just chat and be full until for a little bit until we are done. So let's see. Marjorie says, I'm waiting to get paid this week to support the fundraiser. Oh, well, thank you, Marjorie. Thank you very much. And again, don't stress yourself if you're not able to lots of ways that you can support it, whether it's sharing it, posting it, telling your friends, family, whatever, company, if they want to donate. Great. All of it absolutely valuable and helpful. So thank you. Joy says Germany has done a very, very good job on the promotion and handling the Invictus Games of 2023. They have. They are good. I mean, they are gangbusters with that. So very good. Really great work. I mean, and even, Vancouver Whistler, that games is not until 2025, and they're like counting down, and you're like, oh gosh, we're not even on the 2023 one yet. So there, I mean, I'm telling you, this is what happens when, I talk about Prince Harry putting his vision into others, and they're grabbing hold of it and just running with it. So yeah, it's amazing. And again, with this games, because Amazon purchased the tickets for all the events, it is free, other than the opening and the closing ceremonies, which I think you have to pay for. All the events are free, so you don't have to worry about, I guess, just reserve your place or something. Definitely contact Invictus to make sure how you get your tickets, but they're free. So first come, first serve, I'm assuming. So there you go. Let's see. Helen says Twitter is on fire in the UK today. Loads and loads of positive tweets for Prince Harry. You go. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Ignore the negative noise and stay on the positive and promote the work, because that's what they don't want. They want to keep us focused on lying stuff or stuff they make up. So we don't focus on the work. And then the same people would come back and say, well, we don't know what they actually does. Well, yeah, we know you don't know, because you've been focusing on making stuff up about them. So yeah, we need to focus, and I'm so happy Twitter is doing that. So I've been off it for a minute, putting this together. So it's good to see. I mean, plus, hello, Harry's there being amazing and hanging out with Nacho. What isn't good about that, So that's great. So yeah. Emerald says Harry is just so committed to the veterans. He looks great. Yes, he is, and yes, he is, and yes, he does. Yes, all around. Cookies and Cream says Prince Harry looks really good. It's so obvious he's happy, healthy, and well loved by Meghan. He's glowing. He really is. He really, really is, and I'm telling you. Love and freedom, I am telling you, it does wonders to you, so kudos for Prince Harry and Meghan. Let's see. Anne says the Invictus Games are growing in size, and more countries joining. The sentiment, health issues, and recognition that countries have the responsibility to their veterans. Yes. Yeah, and it's just, more and more people want to be part of it, which is amazing. Let's see. Oh, hi, Ellen. No worries. It's there, so you can definitely, the replay is there, so it's fine. You're not late. You're fine. Let's see. Oh, Trisha is talking about Whitney said, Lord, nobody can touch Nippy Houston's voice, R.I.P. legend. There is no one like Whitney. There's nothing. Sinead O'Connor is so funny. They both are gone now. But Sinead O'Connor's song, Nothing Compares to You. Hello. Whitney is in a league by herself. This woman could do things with her voice that it's amazing. And I was listening to, I think Jennifer Hudson had paid a tribute to her with a song that I had never even heard of. And it's just, it's like a live performance. I don't even know what the name of the song is, so I've never heard it before. And she's able to do things with her voice that is just like, wow. It is just, it's amazing. So again, I still haven't really gotten over, or I don't think I ever will, that she's not here, but we do have her music. And so, yeah. Sonia says, Whitney's death was not a surprise to me at all. For me, it was a matter of time. I do miss her voice. Yeah, with all the things that was going on around her, yeah, I don't think many people were surprised, but it was still devastating. even though you still there's still hope that things would get better and she would get better. So, but it is what it is. And, drugs, it does that thing, it does that stuff to you. And so, yeah, it's just, I let's see. Anne says their legend will live on. The music was timeless. Yes, it is timeless. It is really, really timeless. So yeah. Let's see. I'm actually gonna scroll all the way down for a minute. Let's see. Um, hmm, let's see. So if you're looking for the link um, for the campaign, the Santibali fundraiser, Lydia has kindly posted a link in her chat. So definitely just click on the link, and that should take you to the page. So thank you so much, Lydia, for that. I appreciate. Church Nelly needs a link for the merchandise. If somebody had Lydia has that too. Well, there you go, Lydia. There it is. Just click on Lydia's chat there, and that link will take you to there as well. And I'll also put it in the show notes since I have some time today. I will also put it in the show notes so there you can have it there as well. So yeah. And I think you're it today. And says, Luman, Commonwealth Games needs the sponsorship of zillionaires, trillionaires, billionaires, and millionaires. And the cost is on the host countries, and the new village sometimes and sometimes new village needs to be built. The thing with the Commonwealth Games, and if you guys, I know I was listening to Baron the other day, and he played that video. I'm telling you, that's like my favorite video in all the world. But WOION, when they go after the royals, this is like the fourth or the fifth one I've seen, where they have gone after the royals, and it is a doozy. Truth bombs all over the place. And so I'm glad Baron played it the other day, because I was watching him and he played it. And the thing about it is exactly what the woman said. The Commonwealth Games is like yesterday's cucumbers. It's stale, like yesterday's cucumber sandwich. She's like, nobody cares about the games. The professional athletes, the big name athletes, stay away from it because it has no prestige or nothing. She even says, talks about Usain Bolt when he was running. He'd only been to one. The top athletes, like think of the Jamaican athletes right now, none of them show up. So the quality of competition at the games, and this is I'm just mentioning like track and field now, but in a lot of the areas, a lot of the top people stay away from the Commonwealth Games. Nobody cares about the Commonwealth Games. This is something that is a relic from back in the Empire Games. I think it used to be called the Empire Games, and they changed it to Commonwealth Games. Nobody wants to deal with it because now people are more aware of and tying the royal family back to that, the empire. I was like, we're not part of your empire. We don't want to be a part of that. And I'm so glad because, there are so many, gosh, how many episodes I've talked about just what is the purpose of the Commonwealth, period. We've talked about that so many times here, the uselessness of this organization and the fact that Prince Charles, on the Commonwealth website, it literally talks like, oh, this is not a hereditary position yet. It's gone from, the king's father to the queen. The queen's father to the queen to Charles, and now they're talking about going to. It's just like hello. And so she points out all of these different areas that the website of the Commonwealth says one thing, and they are of no benefit to anybody in any of these countries. She even talked about, if an Indian student went to the UK to go to school, there was no benefit. People coming, wanting visa or coming to the UK for a visa, nothing. You get nothing. A lot of times, especially if you're dark skinned, they don't even want you there. So what is the benefit? What is the purpose of all of these, 53 nations being a part of this Commonwealth? It is a useless institution. It's a useless organization. And so is the Commonwealth Games. And so people are like, even when you put this stuff on, not a lot of people go to them, so there's really no benefit. I mean, it was supposed to be 1 billion, I think, when Australia, what is it, Victoria, I think, Australia, it was started out from 1 billion, then ballooned to 6 billion. They're like, no, we're not paying that for that games. And then Canada is like, oh, we don't want to have Victoria in Canada. Is like, we don't want to. We're already doing the Invictus Games. We don't want to do it that. And now the 2020, the 2030, they're like, we don't want that either. If the UK want to keep their Empire Games, let them pay for it. You know, so it's just like nobody wants to deal with the Commonwealth, that organization, the Commonwealth, because again, it is of no value. Those people coming together, you know, the leaders coming together. I mean, it's like a social club. They get to have benefit. They can be like, oh yeah, I just had lunch with the king, and you know, Patricia Scotland, who's the head, who looks like her job is like to prop up the monarchy, and it's just like she's representing us. I mean, hello, you know, we talked about her before. Useless organization. It is of no value to anyone other than to prop up a useless monarchy that is of no value to anyone. So again, if they want their games, the UK needs to pay for it. Let them pay for it. Let them use their own taxpayer money to pay for it and leave the rest of the Commonwealth alone. So yeah, and really get rid of that there. And as that lady talked about, it's an insult to call it the Commonwealth, because again, there is no money here. You know, if other than if you're Australia and Canada, at least they're the wealthy ones. The predominantly black and brown ones, there is no. I mean, how, you know, what wealth? There is no wealth. It's no common wealth. Nobody here has money. You know, the wealth is not here. In fact, she called it the stolen wealth is what it should be called, because that's what the UK did. They stole all the wealth. And so she renamed it the stolen wealth. So I appreciated her so much. I was like, yes, 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 yes. She speaks my language. So yeah, I mean, let the UK pay for that. If they're crazy enough to keep this nonsense, let them pay for it. You know, so I don't even think they've recovered from because it was in Manchester the last year. I don't even think they recovered from that. You know, and it's just, again, nonsense. This is, again, just there to prop up the monarchy. We remember Prince Edward in Antigua, when they wanted to talk about reparations, he wanted to talk about the baton going around for the Commonwealth Games. I would never forget that. And I would never forget the face of the prime minister and his, you know, I guess his assistant, whatever, you know, prime minister, whatever she was. I would never forget the stunned look on their face as this man sat there in front of them. Instead of talking about reparations and apology, wants to talk about a baton. And I was just like, you know, unbelievable. Let's see. Let's see. Little Max says she also said all they have in common is the shared pain of British occupation. Yes, she did. I'm telling you, she was just throwing out truth bombs after truth bombs. I mean, I was just sitting there like, yes, 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 preach, sister, preach, preach. Yeah. Birmingham last year. Sorry, I guess not Manchester, Birmingham. Okay, thank you, Anne. Get my UK cities wrong there. Quinny, a little change of a direction. You can get me started on the Commonwealth. I'm like, I am so not here for it. No, not here for the Commonwealth. Quinny says, God bless Harry and Nacho. Please keep them safe and protected. And yes, please, definitely. We need to be praying that the Lord keep them safe, get them here to there, and then get back home to their families safely. Pray that they have fun, you know, raising money for Sentibale. Let's see. A couple more before we end. I need to get some food. I'm hungry. It's just like I'm talking too much. I'm hungry. Let's see. But you know, Little Man, I really love that she mentioned this. And going back to what Little Man's statement's like, yeah, this is what we have in common. It's not wealth. It's not that, you know, we have this wealth in common in this relationship, this imaginary relationship that King Charles always liked to talk about. It's like, we're not in a relationship with you, you know? Yeah. It's the only thing that's common is the shared pain of their occupation and the shared pain of dealing with the fact that they stole our stuff. That's what we have in common, you know. So yeah. Um. Oh, Church Nelly did some ordering. You go, Church Nelly. I'm assuming that T-shirt. Um. You go. Let's see. Jerry says, who's benefiting from the Commonwealth Games? Get rid of it once and for all. Yeah, the only people that benefit is the royal family, that because it props them up, makes them feel like, you know, if you looked at the last one with King Charles riding in that, what it looked like a Rolls Royce, whatever that they showed. That's what that's there for. You know, it's just like, seriously? You know, seriously? Yeah, it's to prop up the monarchy. And as she said, you know, they're sitting there deluded. I forgot all the things that she said about it, including that it's, you know, the games is like yesterday's stale cucumber sandwich. I was like, ooh, shade. Shade. Let's see. Anyways. Little Max, sorry, Little Max says, I heard the games are poorly attended, so I guess no one wants to incur the cost. And that was one of the things. It's like it is poorly attended. It is not for the cost of it, and the cost that especially if you have to go building things, there's an imbalance there. And so it's like, who wants to, they can't justify that, especially most countries are going through, cost of living crisis and all that stuff. How do you justify spending $6 billion on a games nobody wanted? In fact, what the UK tends to do, when you have people starving, you can't justify that. At least nobody with common sense would try. Charlie says, I believe Rita is a friend of Harry. How much I'm uncertain if she volunteered or was asked. Oh, that's right. Rita Ora is going to be performing, I think they said at the closing ceremony. I don't know her music, so I couldn't say what she sings. But she is going, I think she was on, was it X Factor or one of those shows? Or, I don't know, American? No, she's British, so I don't know. One of those shows she was on. I think it's X Factor, but don't quote me on that. So, and I don't know what she sings, but she seems a lovely person. So really cool. I look forward to seeing her too. So there. Let's see. J-Man strolls in like, what did I miss? Did somebody mess with Harry and Meghan again? I have a chair ready. They need to stop. You go, J-Man. J-Man's got the chair, the white chair, all the ready. J-Man's been doing their workouts and everything, And I saw this song, that song was like, stomp. What is it like? One step, two. What is that? That step 2 times or something like that. And, whatever the song is that they play at every party, I always forget the name. But they were doing one, obviously a spoof, and they were doing it with the chair. And it's so funny when they said like stomp 2 times. I'm like, that thing took on a whole new meaning from, I looked at the song as it's a fun thing you do. And with that chair and with the context, it's like, that's a whole new meaning to that song, isn't it? But yeah, it's just very, I think, again, silly season in August. Okay, let's see. One more before we. Oh, okay. So Helen is correcting. It says Rita Ora was a guest judge on X Factor. Oh, okay. So so it was X Factor. Okay, there you go. So yeah, and again, I don't know her music, but I'm sure she's lovely, and whatever she sings, I will be supporting her. So kudos to let's see. Zandy P said Rita Ora is the girlfriend of Hollywood Avengers producer Taika Waititi. He is an actor. He's the actor and also producer of many movies such as Thor, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. Oh, it's funny with Taika because my introduction to Taika was not with that at all. It was with a show from New Zealand, and it was a show with these vampires living together as roommates, and that was my introduction to Taika. And it's one of the one of those dark comedies, and with just a very dry sense of humor with these vampire roommates, and it's the funniest thing, that they're trying to coexist with humans and not quite making it. And so it is one of the funniest movies ever if you like dry humor and you like vampire movies. But it was just very, very fun. And so that was my introduction. So I've never seen the other things that he's done. Like, I know of them, but I've never seen it. I've only seen him in that show, in that movie, and it was the best. Let's see. Oh, so she is married. They are married. Rita and Taika are married. Oh, wow. There you go. Update. They are married. So Joy says Rita Ora is a recording artist, not only an X Factor contestant. Oh, so she was a contestant as well. Oh, I didn't know that part. She is well known. Okay, there you go. I figured she was a singer. I just don't know her music. But there you go. Oh, yeah, Joan is confirming. Rita and her fella got married recently. Well, congratulations to Rita. There you go. Oh, and she's a best friend of Prince Harry. There you go. There you go. Now we know why she was invited. Harry's inviting his besties. So that's awesome. Let's see. Diane says Meghan is coordinating the closing ceremony, and also with her wonderful husband, they know people who actually are well connected, talented, and generous. Invictus will be great start to finish. Yes. So there is doing a great. So we are going to leave it there. And on this positive note from Invictus, again, if you're interested in the fundraiser, it's right there. So definitely, if you'd like to, donate, or if you'd like to just share, or whatever you'd like to do with it, it is valuable. Any help you can offer is really great and valuable. And because I was rushing, I just realized I did not even bring in my credits. So thank you to our awesome moderators, which I don't have at the moment. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Trish Nelly, Cookies and Cream, Lydia, Black Queen, Karen M. Thank you. Wait, did I say Cookies and Cream? Yes, Cookies and Cream. Thank you all so much for the amazing work that you do in moderating the comments, making sure it is nice and safe. Thank you to all of our 2 cents crew who supports the channel monthly. I appreciate it. I'm loving the new platform, the new software that I'm using to create a little document stuff. And I'm still learning, as you say, but thank you for helping me to be able to pay for it. Thank you so much that you helped me to pay for this platform that I'm doing the live. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to those of you who support in the chat, who donate money. I mean, hello, can do this without you. So thank you. And again, I really appreciate you guys. So anyways, I will see you all next time. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. If you're new here, or even if you're not, and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that way you know when we drop a video. Please like and share the video. Help us to grow the platform. And if you're able, join the channel. That would be awesome as well, where you support the channel on a monthly basis. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last almost 2 hours. And I will see you next time. Bye. Love you all. Bye.